Hey everyone, COE33 here. Welcome to the upstairs game room, the retro room. Hope everyone's doing well. Guys, it's SEGA 32Xmas. We're in the thick of it. All month long, we're talking about SEGA 32X. We're playing SEGA 32X, and it's been a blast. Now, I got the upstairs game room all fired up for you guys. Figured we'll take a look at it before we do the big annual full game room tour, which is coming soon. So I'm going to have to come up here and power clean and get everything ready for that. Every year in the beginning of January, I do a full annual game room tour of the upstairs and downstairs game room, and there's been some changes. I won't go into in depth on this video because that's not what this video is about. This video is all about the SEGA 32X. Oh, and look at Miguel. What you doing, Miguel? Nice pajamas. Having fun over here? He's like, what is going on? What is this, dude? What do you got there? A little fur? So, okay, SEGA 32X. Why don't we go over here? So this is the wall video games. This is where I keep all the Nintendo games, the SEGA games, kind of mostly the cart-based stuff lives up here. And then for the most part, the disc-based stuff and the modern stuff lives downstairs in the Dragon's Lair. And one of my favorite shelves, well, not one of my favorites. My favorite shelf is the SEGA shelf over here. And this is where I keep my Genesis games, my Master System games, my 32X games, yada, yada, yada. I got this little 3D printed sign here. But we're talking about 32X. So let's go down here. Now we got to go all the way down because the 32X lives down towards the bottom of the shelf here. And, oh gosh, I don't know how long ago it was, but Leaf and I, we were on a mission to collect all 36 North American SEGA 32X games on the channel. And we went to expos, and we were looking at thrift stores and online, and just anywhere we could find 32X games, and we were able to get all 36 of them. Super cool. So why don't we just go through and take a look at what we have. Some are complete, some are loose, some are have their manuals, and some don't. So it's kind of a hodgepodge, but yeah, let's take a look. Okay, let's start with some of the complete stuff. We got NFL Quarterback Club. Now, I've been playing all these games on stream on Twitch this month, and it's been a lot of fun. Playing it on original hardware, CRT television, and having a blast. I've played most of the games, but not all of them. But I think by the end of the month, I will have played all 36 SEGA 32X games live on stream, and it's been a blast. And I need to play this one because I love NBA Jam. This is the tournament edition. And I really like this box, too. It's got the little hologram there, and it's just super cool. What a great game. Boom shakalaka. We got Baseball 95, and then BC Racers. It's a cool box. I like that cover art. One of my favorites on the system, Afterburner. Really nice to have this complete in box. This is one of the great kind of arcade ports that came to the 32X. At the time, I think that was really the shining light of the SEGA 32X, is that you could have some of these SEGA arcade games that were as true to the arcade as possible in, 94, 95, right around there. Metalhead, a little mech action. Primal Rage, a little primate fighting. A little Shadow Squadron. This was a little meh, I thought. A little Star Trek. I need to put this in a little box protector. Star Trek, Starfleet Academy, Starbridge Simulator. This is an interesting game. It's kind of impressive, really, for what it is. I wouldn't say it's the kind of game I generally gravitate towards. It's more of a like a simulator style. But I think for the time, there's a lot going on there. Now, the big pickup this month, the upgrade that I did, this was previously a game that I had loose. And I bought this minty, complete in box copy of Calibri. And what a nice upgrade to the SEGA 32X collection. Look how nice that box is. So, yeah, this was the big pickup this month. And one of my favorite games on the 32X, it's a shmup with hummingbirds. It's by the team that did Echo the Dolphin. It's got some kind of atmospheric music and really good pixel art and solid gameplay. Definitely recommend Calibri on the 32X. Awesome stuff. Okay, and then I'm going to kind of shimmy over here. I'm going to do this like all in one cut. I'm not too worried about doing a lot of edits or anything in this video. Okay, what do we got here? Virtua Racing, great game. I love Virtua Racing. Early polygon graphics, another arcade port coming home to the 32X. and a super solid port at that. Possibly the best game on the 32X, in my opinion, is Blackthorn. It's an early Blizzard game. It's super metal. It's awesome. Pixel art is just exceptional, and it plays well, and I love it. Blackthorn, very cool. This would be another one I would like to upgrade to a complete in box copy at some point. Motocross, I just played this last night. It was pretty meh, I thought. And then we got Pitfall. This is good. Pitfall's fun. The Mayan Adventure. Yeah, no complaints there. Good pixel art. One of the rarer games on the SEGA 32X. This is either the rarest or the second rarest. It's not the most expensive, but I think as far as rarity, I forget, between this and Web of Fire, I forget which one's actually rarer. I know that Web of Fire is more expensive, but this one is pretty rare. World Series Baseball starring Deion Sanders. So, yeah, it's never fun to shelling out a little chunk of change for a sports game. But, you know, if you want that North American 32X set, that's what you got to do. Speaking of shelling out some change for a 32X game, of course, Spider-Man, Web of Fire. And yeah, I played this month, and I've played it before. This is actually a really solid game. The good thing about this is it is an expensive game, but it's actually a lot of fun, too. So, like, the graphics are really good, the gameplay is solid. And this one is actually not totally loose. I've got that sweet manual, which is kind of like gold. So I may try to upgrade this to a complete in box copy at some point, because I could sell my manual and my cart to kind of offset some of the cost of getting a complete in box copy. That'd be nice. Spider-Man Web of Fire would be obviously a really primo one to have in the collection, or a complete copy at least. And then there's the Sega 32X Sega CD games, and they're kind of an oddity, really. You got Fahrenheit, and I don't currently have a working Sega CD, which is kind of tragic, so I can't play these at the moment. Supreme Warrior, that needs to be in 2023. Getting a Sega CD, I think that needs to be a priority. I've bought in several over the years, and they always break. So Night Trap, of course, that's a really cool one to have. A very controversial game at the time. Corpse Killer, you know, lots of FMV stuff. And then we got Slam City with Scottie Pippen. I quite like these kind of big Sega CD 32X boxes. And I have a soft spot for FMV games. I think they represent kind of a cool little time, place, or period in time in gaming. And I think they're a lot of fun. Okay, moving over here, I got some of these reproduction boxes. So these are almost all loose cards. There's a couple manuals in here, but for the most part, they're loose. We got Zaxxon's Mother Base, one of two shmups on the console. Space Harrier, which is one of my favorite games. Another solid arcade port. This an Afterburner. Awesome. T-Mech, a little more mech action. Doom, a solid port of Doom. You know, you can play Doom a million ways. But at the time, you know, play this on a home console and have a decent frame rate and decent graphics and good sound was pretty cool. So yeah, Doom. Star Wars Arcade. This is a lot of fun. I like Star Wars Arcade quite a bit. I found the gameplay here to be really solid. And yeah, lots of arcade ports on the 32X. I think that's really where the system shines. And then we got a little first-party Sonic action with Knuckles Chaotix. I mean, there's no actual Sonic in here, but it's Knuckles. He has his own game. And once you get used to the kind of rubber band mechanic that they got going on here, this is a really solid game. I like Knuckles Chaotix. It's a little weird. It's not, you know, don't go into it thinking this is exactly like Sonic the Hedgehog, because it's not. But it's got some sweet graphics. And as I said, once you get used to it, it's pretty sweet. And speaking of kind of like once you get used to it, tempo. I feel like this is kind of an underrated little gem on the 32X. It's got good pixel art, good sound. It's quirky. It's a weird game. It's like there's a game show, and it's there's like music-based stuff going on, and it's got interesting sprite work, and it's pretty wild. Tempo is an interesting game. Definitely recommend checking it out. Cosmic Carnage, this was like, what, so bad it's good kind of thing. It's a fighting game, and it's pretty janky. It's not very good. But, yeah, if you go into it, you know, thinking, oh, this is going to be so bad it's good, then you might have a good time. I like the description here, too. What kind of unbelievably ugly monster is this? Chunks of armor fly off as you pound its body. This beefed up, maxed out monstrosity is jetted across the cosmos to beat your brains out. But is it the alien, or is it you? So yeah, it's very 90s. I like it. And then Brutal Above the Pot. This, I had fun playing this, but it's not very good. Yeah, but I did enjoy it. Moving on, we got Tough Man Contest. This actually, it's not really that bad, honestly. That's another one though. I went into it thinking, because it'd been a while. Like I played all these games when I picked them all up, but honestly, I haven't played much 32x in a while. So this month I've been playing all these, and I went into playing this game thinking, oh, this is going to be garbage. But no, I actually thought it was all right. It was fun. Okay, these are coming up to some of my favorite games on the console. All right, WWF Raw. Now, there's 2 wrestling games on the 32X. This one's the inferior one. This one's a little janky, but it's fun. If you like wrestling games, definitely pick that up and have a good time with it. Virtual Fighter, another early Polygon game, another arcade port. And, you know, it's pretty simple compared to today's standards, but it's Virtual Fighter. It's fun. Mortal Kombat 2, another game that at the time, having a good, solid port of Mortal Kombat 2 at home, sign me up. And then my favorite wrestling game on the console, as I said, there's only 2. Definitely WrestleMania, the arcade game. This game is a blast. I really like this. I could play this just for hours. It's fun. You know, you hit them over the head with a chair, and you got baseball bats, and you can go out of the ring, and you got the Royal Rumble and all that. It's super cool. And it's got a good roster of wrestlers from back in the day when I was actually watching wrestling. Those are the guys I was watching. And then, is it the last game? Yeah, last but not least, we'll end on a banger here. 36 Holes starring Fred Couples. No, this is pretty bad. But I did a comparison the other night on stream. I was like, okay, is this going to be better than that 3DO golf game I bought just last month? And yep, it is. It's not very good, but it's better than that 3DO golf game. It doesn't look good, though. The graphics are pretty awful. But the gameplay is pretty decent. So if you like, you know, retro golf games, then yeah, you might want to give this one a shot. So guys, that's the 32X collection, all 36 North American 32X games. And, you know, 32X gets a lot of grief, and I get that. I understand that. Is it the best console in the world? No, but it has some great games on it, and it's fun. You know, if you want to get that Tower of Power, you want that Genesis with that 32X and that Sega CD, and you want to rock that Tower of Power, well, I think it's worth it, and 32X is super cool, and I have a lot of fun with it. Alright guys, that's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. I hope everyone's having an awesome holiday. I'm posting new videos every Wednesday at 7 p.m. You can count on that. I'm live streaming on Twitch every Tuesday and Thursday. I'd love to see you over there at COE33. There's a community Discord. The Dragon's there. We can hang out when I'm not posting videos on YouTube. And that's it. Thanks so much. And until next time, bye.